give us an update on Anna and Crystal and their health and availability this Thursday.
Anna's practiced off and on the last couple of days. So every day she's practicing more and more. So I'm hopeful that these next 2 days we'll get a full practice out of her. Crystal, not yet. Crystal, we're still waiting. She's got some more tests today. So hopefully we'll know more tomorrow. But I think the rest is doing her good, but it's just a wait and see right now.
It's still back with her?
Yeah, they're not quite sure what it is.
Would you be comfortable with just putting her into her game, or do you want to see her practice? Would you want to see her practice before, or would if she checks out fine at the doctors or whatever, you just put her in?
She's a senior. I'm not worried about that. If she was a young kid, I'd be more concerned. But I'm not worried about that part of it. I just want to make sure she's back to 100%.
You said one of your biggest worries prior to this was what if she wasn't out there on the floor? How's the team reacted, and how pleased are you with Molly or even Kristen, the way that she stepped up and handled the ball a little?
I don't know. I mean, I would say it's been okay. I mean, I'd feel a lot more confident if Crystal wasn't on the floor and we had Anna the whole time to have another ball handler out there. But I think for one game, I thought it worked out. I thought it worked out fine. I thought Molly did a great job, and obviously not an ideal situation for her, but this helps her. She gets more and more repetitions, and the more repetitions she gets, the more comfortable she's going to get, and the more she's going to be able to do. So even when Crystal's back, whenever that is, it's going to help Molly be a better player. And Kristen, Kristen's more of a. We need her to not think about being a playmaker. We need her to think about scoring. So I don't want to bog her down with, I got to be a playmaker. I want her to just play her normal game and see if we can fill in around her.
How about Olivia with her toe? Is she's
fine.
Much okay?
She's fine, right? Yeah, she's been here. I don't see any signs of it. There's no limping around. There's no pain that I can tell. So she hasn't complained at all. She hasn't said anything. So I'm assuming it's getting better every day.
How about Megan, the role she's on right now?
Yeah, she feels confident. She feels comfortable. I think she's going to get a lot of opportunities. Anytime you're going to get 20 shots every night, that's a pretty good feeling, So I think there's a certain comfort level of not having to worry about where are my shots coming from and when. She knows, she understands. I mean, she's got a big role and big shoes to fill from last year, and we have to make sure that we get consistent production in addition to Megan. That's going to be the key going forward.
What is it that you want to see out of Molly? Is it just confidence?
I just want her to feel like I can go out there and play and do my job, and just kind of get the ball from one place to another, get it to who I'm supposed to get it to. Make simple plays, not try to do anything that's not comfortable for me, and try to be more than what I am. Molly tends to go too fast, and when you go too fast, you end up doing too many things, and you end up getting yourself in trouble. So we're just constantly trying to slow her down. And seems to be working.
Do you think with more time here, more experience on the floor, that it will slow down for her, or that has to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can get accomplished in the next week what we couldn't in the last 4 years. I think there's a slight chance of that. Slowing down Molly is a relative term. For us, slowing down Molly means that in the span of an hour, she'll only crash for half an hour instead of 45 minutes. That would be pretty good.
Geno, what would you say about Megan's journey, almost transformation, where comes in as the top national recruit, all these expectations probably for herself, has to deal with the fact that there's other top national recruits who have been in the program for a couple of years. She's in a place of comfort that is a far cry from where she was down the stretch of her freshman year, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, that was an interesting situation, Sorry. We've had a lot of national players of the year come in. Some come in as freshmen, and they pick it up right away, and they figure it out right away. They know exactly what their role is. They know exactly what they have to do to get on the court, and they all have their struggles, but they all eventually figure it out. And it took Meg a little bit longer. I think the thing that Meg learned after 2 years, the thing that she learned was anything really, really good that's going to happen is because I have to make it happen. It doesn't just happen because you're at Connecticut. I think a lot of times what people lose sight of is you walk into this practice gym, you look up on the wall and you see all those names and you go, oh, that's why I came here. That's going to be me. Okay. Well, if I were to write down the story of what each one of those guys did for 4 years, you would be surprised. And it takes some time for some people to realize that the way I did it in high school isn't getting me on that wall and isn't getting me any national championships. And it's taken Megan a while to figure that out. And she figured it out a little more last year, and she's figured it out a lot this year.
That would be gratifying for you to see her turn that corner.
It is, because not everybody does. Some people really struggle with that. They struggle with, they have these expectations, and then when they don't reach them, they're always looking to point fingers. Well, here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. It's because of this. It's because of that. There is no reason why. The reason why is you weren't prepared for it. For a lot of kids, one, you weren't prepared for it. Two, when you got here and you saw what you had to do, you were stunned. And then three, you gave up on yourself. So that's usually the recipe that kids follow. And each of them goes through that at some point their freshman year. And the better they are, the more pressure's on them. And some can handle it better than others. And starting at the end of last spring, there's been a huge change in her approach, in her demeanor, her work ethic, her conditioning, her nutrition. She's starting to treat herself like a pro. For the really, really good players that we've had here, we talk a lot about, you got to act like a pro, like from your sophomore year on. If you start acting like a pro the day you get drafted, you got no shot at being a good pro. It's already too late. If you go to your first training camp and go, oh, I'm a pro, you're going to get cut. So you got to act. The best ones we've had, they start acting like pros when they're sophomores. And then each year, they play like pros. And this year, she's playing like a pro. And she's playing like an All-American. And she's doing All-American things. Don't get me wrong. If she was honest with this, she'll tell you there's things I bitch about every day with her that I'm not going to stop bitching about.
Geno, hand and glove on a little bit. When you have a small rotation, like I said, Meg knows she's going to do 20 shots if she wants.
Yeah.
And that's a big oomph for them, but you've got to control. You've got to coach your way through that on a given night with all like a small number of players.
Yeah.
What is that like for a coach, and what's it like for them?
Well, first of all, this notion that I'm the only guy in America that loves to play 6 players, which who in America loves to play 6 players? That may be more to the fact that there aren't enough good players in America. Because I think the teams that won a national championship the last 2 years, I think Notre Dame played 6 2 years ago, and I don't know how many Baylor played last year, but there ain't a whole lot of teams playing 8 players, 9 players. It just doesn't exist anymore. So that's one issue that we all are dealing with. Nobody likes it, but we're all dealing with that. So when you have a short bench, you have a small rotation, you have to really rely on the maturity of your players. Because if you've got legit great players, they're great teammates, that all they care about winning, is they're going to do the right thing, whether you play 9-man rotation or whether you play 5 guys. If you have the wrong group of guys, you got guys out there going, what are you going to do, take me out? So it's difficult to coach, guys that don't get it and are somewhat selfish when you have a short rotation, because you can't bench them when they get out of hand. I remember going to Bulls training camp, and I sat down watched film with Tex Winter, and I said, how do you know when the offense sucks? And he goes, he says, well, when you watch TV and you see me whacking Phil in the ribs, I'm saying, yo, you need to get these 2 guys in the game. I go, what 2 guys? And he named 2 subs. I go, you need to get them in the game? He goes, yeah, we got to get some of these guys out because they won't run the offense anymore. Now they're just going off. So once we get those guys out and get these guys in, everything will go back to normal, and then we can put the other guys in. Every coach has dealt with their whole lives with how do you manage, how much freedom do you give guys? How much do you allow them to do? There are coaches that just tell guys, do whatever you want, I don't care. So I'm not taking you out. And then there's coaches that first sign of a mistake, you're coming out. Me, I just like kids to do the right thing. I don't care if you shoot it 30 times a game. If those are the 30 shots you should be taking, shoot them. I don't care. I've had guys, I remember playing in Florida, in Orlando, and they were playing Stanford, and Nikisha Sales came over to the sideline. She had like 30 already or something, and she's just shaking her head, and all the players on the team are shaking their head. And she's got a big smile on her face, and she just said, they can't guard me, coach. So we went, okay. So we just passed her the ball for the next 20 minutes, and that was that. So I don't care how many shots you take if they're the right ones, but teaching players today what a good possession is, what a good shot is, and a little bit more difficult. But Meg's starting to get a sense of this is a good shot. This is a great shot. This is a good shot. This shot, I don't want to take anymore. I just had that exercise with her.
Are shorter rotations a byproduct of more teams getting better now? There is more.
Yeah, they're all getting better because they all have their really good 6 players. So next year with the recruiting class we have coming in, you think we'll have a short rotation? I don't think so either. And teams are still getting better. So it's more of a function of 2 recruiting classes that we had that sucked. Whenever you see teams with a short rotation at a really high level, that's generally what it comes down to. 2 recruiting classes that you screwed up on. Either you didn't get who you wanted, or you got who you thought you wanted and you didn't want them, or they didn't turn out to be what you wanted. That's the number one reason why people have a short bench. You should get a couple bad recruiting scenarios.
What did you think of Baylor and Oregon losing?
What did I think of Baylor and Oregon losing? Hey, it's a bitch being number 1. It's hard. I've heard it's hard. I've heard it's hard to win a lot of games in a row. Sources say. It's been said.
Big if true.
Remember that one, Jeff? It's been said. It's been said by a lot of people that it's hard. It's hard to win a lot of games when you're at the top. It's hard to win a lot of games when you're at the top. So I'm not surprised. I mean, here's why it's different now, too. More teams are starting to play more good games early in the season. Now, some teams, they still open up with 3 Division II or 3 teams posing as Division I's. And then when they finally play a team in the top 5, it's a shock. So it's not like Baylor and Oregon lost to like nobody's. Baylor and Oregon lost to 2 really good teams. And, you know, I guess it's supposed to happen more often. And I think it will. I think you're going to see it happening more often. For sure. For sure.
You're going to send Louisville to Tokyo now?
Tokyo?
Yeah, since Oregon beat the national team and Louisville beat Oregon, we can send them to Tokyo.
Oh, wow. Incredible. I'm thinking, we have a shot at number 1, except I can't even imagine in my wildest dreams that we could win all 3 of our next games. So I think it's happening all over the country, man. You're gonna have to get used to it. You have to get used to it.
Speaking of Louisville,
when was the last time Indiana beat a top 5 team in the country?
Does it ever happen?
Does it ever happen?
It's definitely their highest ranking.
I mean, things are happening now that in the natural progression of the game are supposed to happen. You know?
Seriously about Louisville, though, has that game been finalized? The thing that Walls talked about last week?
Which one? The one at the Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden, or the one in Maui?
Yeah, tell me.
Well, obviously Jeff doesn't have a contract, because I would have it. And I don't have a contract that says we're playing at Barclays. So he might be playing somebody from Connecticut, but it's not us.
Prudential Center?
Prudential Center?
Is that close?
Is that Prudential, Barclays? Who else? Chase Center? Anybody else? TD Garden up in Boston? Pick any financial institution, and there's a chance we'll be playing Louisville. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Barclays. Matter of fact, when Anna mentioned it to me, she goes, "You know, Jeff mentioned that." I go, "Really? That's the first I heard of that." She goes, "Me too." So no one had heard of it.
What is it that Kyle is doing better that's made her a valuable part of the regular rotation right now?
She's had you know, a couple months here in practice where she settled into a role that she she's comfortable with. Everybody has to be realistic. You have to be realistic with, where am I at? What can I do? How do I contribute? And I think Kyla spent a long time here at Connecticut trying to prove that she belonged here and tried to do what Fisa and Stewie and those guys were doing. And it's not proved to not be the winning edge, right? So she's settled into, this is what I do. I catch it and I pass it to guys that are open. I catch it, I dribble and hand it off to people that are open. When all 4 guys on the other team guard everybody but me, I make a jump shot. Set shot. Not moving. Okay. And on defense, I do a good job of just guarding my man. Take a charge. Like the things that you would expect somebody like Kyla to be doing. It just took a while. But right now, I'm going to start her again Thursday.
Where's Aubrey at with her game?
Aubrey?
Yeah.
Where's she
hasn't
at?
played as much last few games.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 Aubreys. When Aubrey plays like she did at Temple, when Aubrey plays like she played at Dayton in the second half, was Jen. And then there's the Aubrey that wanders around, has no idea where she's going and what she's doing. So right now, we're trying to help her out. But our 2 freshmen have to play a lot. If our 2 freshmen aren't playing 20 minutes every night, that's not a good sign for us. So every day we're trying to help them do that. It's funny. What Aubrey doesn't know, she can make up for with her athletic ability. She's in her frame of mind. What Anna doesn't know, she doesn't want to know. And she can't make up for it with her athletic ability. So Aubrey listens and tries to do the right thing all the time. Anna is stubborn and thinks that her way is the right way, which is fine. That's a good sign. It's a sign of confidence. That's what it is. Then we're trying to help. We're trying to help her with her stride.
Anna's stride?
Yeah, her stride. I think she's a potential Polish national team speed walker. I can see her in the Olympics. I think so. So right now we're trying to get her to lengthen her stride. Get up the floor a little quicker. Get out in transition a little quicker. It's a freshman. Freshmen are all extremes, All September and October, I don't think Anna missed 5 shots. And now she hasn't made 5 since November 1st. So they're all extremes. So you just got to be able to ride the extremes until they settle in the middle. But back in the Big East this week. Back in the old Big East.
Historic Walsh Gymnasium.
Back in the old Big East. Seton Hall, Notre Dame, DePaul. Oh, man, remember those days?
Was that where CD's hitting its block?
Seton Hall. Nobody was hiding. They happened to catch.
After the game, after you got beat down there? Isn't that the game?
We didn't know they were coming in to meet. That was an accident. That was an accident. I wish it was on purpose. That would show that like we're really smarter than we are. But
What do you make of Notre Dame so far? Lost mid-majors back-to-back.
I haven't seen them play yet. I haven't watched any of their film. I saw bits and pieces of the Tennessee game, which was on TV. But other than that, I really haven't seen it. But I mean, when you look at the roster, and who they lost, losing 5 starters, and the injuries. So you got 5 starters plus injuries to your guys coming back, plus a couple guys transferring. It's not that unheard of, Not that unheard of. But they're going to keep getting better and better and better and better and better, and then they get everybody back, and they'll be in the NCAA tournament, and they'll beat teams just like they always do.